What's up, guys? Jace here with Fresh Tracks. I'm out here with Michael on a spring bear hunt, and I'm gonna go over my truck camping setup. So I'd say typical for spring bear hunts, I usually do a truck base camp, and then throughout the fall I'll do a handful of truck base camps as well. And over the years I've kind of fine-tuned my truck camping for hunts. For the last few years I actually was using a slide-in pop-up camper. And that thing has all the amenities: sink, bed, dinette table, refrigerator. It had all that stuff, but I really hated driving with that on the truck. It made me feel like I was lugging around a giant backpack if I was hiking up a hill or something. Like granted, this one was a little janky. The tie down points and anchor points weren't great. So when I'd go up nasty forest roads like this, the thing would kind of wobble around, and I didn't like it. I didn't feel as mobile as I did with just a bare pickup truck. So I got rid of that, and then I ended up deciding to just go with a truck cap. So as you can see, this is a topper here. I got the one with a little bit, I think it's like a 6-inch height difference than like your standard flush to the cab. So it gives me a little extra headroom. And that feels great. Like I can take it up any road and it doesn't even feel like I have anything on the back of the truck. And it provides a really nice shelter. So let's get into kind of how I've set this up for my truck-based hunt camps. So when I ordered this topper for this truck, I wanted to make sure that I had these pop-up doors, as you can see right here, so you can get in and out and access things, and I'll kind of touch on how I think that's handy. But it's not a necessity, but it was a little add-on that I like to have. But once I got this topper installed, the first thing I did was I got this bed rug liner. But what I really liked was being able to just sleep in here. It seems like it kind of adds a little bit of insulation rather than that cold metal truck bed that you'll typically have. And another big thing that I think it's helped a ton with is keeping dust out of the pickup, out of the back of the truck. A lot of times, people who run toppers, you go down any dirt road or any forest road that picks up a lot of dust, you pop back, you drop down that tailgate, and the whole interior is filled with dust. This bed liner comes across the tailgate, and this is what I think is the biggest culprit of where you're getting your dust from, and this covers that completely. So that helps right off the bat. I did notice I was still getting some dust in there, so what I did was I went ahead and reinforced anywhere that I could see light shining through with like this weather stripping. So like in the tailgates, on the side, on the rim of this, like anywhere I saw that potential air could pass through, I weather stripped it, and now I get almost no dust in the back of this, and it's perfect for when you pull up to your camping spot and everything's still clean back there. Makes it easy to sleep in rather than huffing in and breathing dust all night when you're sleeping. You wake up and that's no fun. So from there, I wanted to put a cot in the back here. You'll see oftentimes people will build up like a bed frame with pull-out drawers and stuff, and I think that's really cool. But the one thing that I didn't want to give up was having a completely empty bed. Like when I'm not hunting or camping, I like to run my truck just empty so I can use the utility of the pickup truck. So I like to keep it empty. So I started looking into cots, and this disco cot single bed was the one that caught my eye because it's really the only one I could find that has 4 legs, which allowed me to set it up in my truck and push it all the way to the side, and it fits over the wheel well. Almost every other cot on the market, from what I've seen, has like legs in the head and the foot, and then right down the middle where that wheel well is, and you can't get it. It would have to sit right in the middle of your truck. So that gives me optimal room. And I did have to make one modification to this. I have a 6.5 foot bed, I believe, and this cot originally, it stuck out about 5 inches to where I couldn't close the tailgate. So luckily there's 3 poles that attach the whole frame, and I was able to just saw off 5 inches on both poles, and now I could completely close up the tailgate with the cot set up in it, which was pretty handy. So from there, another thing that worked out well is the height of this cot allows me to store, you know, if you have these typical small totes of whatever, you could put gear and whatnot in them, it stores perfectly under the cot. So having the cot in here raised up rather than just sleeping on the floor allows me to keep a bunch of gear in the truck bed with me when I'm going to sleep, rather than having to pull a bunch of gear out for me to lay down somewhere. I can slide a bunch of that in there, or I could just, a lot of times when I'm heading out for a hunt, I'll throw my totes under there, throw my rifle case under there, and I'm good to go. And I'm able to, what I'll typically do behind the cooler there, you can't see it, I have a tote, and that's just, I got ratchet straps, tire chains, kind of like my off-road medical kit for my truck. And then I even have a shovel, a hatchet, and a chainsaw back there that's able to sit underneath the cot and just stay out of the way. On this hunt, I have the cooler here that Michael and I have been storing all of our cold goods in. And this is one of the reasons why I liked having this side door open up like this, is oftentimes you pack a cooler in your truck, and in our case we use the Yeti coolers, and they're already a little bit heavy, and especially when you load them with ice, food, drinks, they're really heavy, and having to lug them in and out of your truck every time you're moving from spot to spot kind of becomes a pain. So leaving it there and just kind of being able to reach in from the side, pop it open, and grab whatever you need out here makes it pretty nifty. And then, for example, this morning I got up, used the Yeti as my breakfast table as I had some cereal and ate some food and whatnot. So it kind of doubles as a little workbench if I'm sitting in here, want to get out of the weather or something. So yeah, this is what I've been running for about over the past year now, and it's worked out really well for me. And I finally kind of over the years changing things up, from going from camper to, I've even had a tent that goes in the back. This is kind of what I've landed on. I think it's here to stay. So I know Marcus does a lot of truck camping as well, and he has a little bit different of a system, and he's gonna put together a video of his whole setup. So it'll be cool to see the compare and contrast everyone's setup. Everyone has their own preferences and are a little bit different in the way they do things. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer them. And any of the items I mentioned, we'll go ahead and try to link them for you too if you're interested in checking them out. So thanks for watching.